When Diana, Princess of Wales, died in a horrific car crash in a Paris tunnel 25 or so years ago, she left behind a few hard lessons for us all about traveling in cars. Well, the first lesson isn't exactly for all of us, but only because not all of us are famous, certainly not as famous as Diana was in her day, no matter that Meghan Markle is striving with every fiber of her being and every fiber of Prince Harry's being to come across somewhere within that celestial orbit. Here's the bit of wisdom she left behind for her fellow famous. Don't get into car chases with the paparazzi. Diana now was in a unique position, newly divorced from the next King of England, having romances, looking sun-kissed and glamorous. In the south of France, people truly were on the edge of their seats wanting to know what she was going to do next. And she was, in reality, hunted by photographers. Meghan, on the other hand, calls the paps on herself, and in order to give them a better view, actually stops in the middle of a car chase to change cars and get into a taxi that didn't feature blackout windows, so those paps could get a better photo of her. The lesson is, if you're going to stop the chase long enough to maneuver into a different car, you can stop the chase long enough to get yourself to a police station and under police protection. At the very least, stay in the car with the blacked out windows so you can't be seen recording the whole extravaganza on your iPhone to get footage for your next Netflix series. But the paparazzi were not the only factor in the death of Diana. Indeed, they may not even have been the most important factor. The second bit of advice, then, is not to get into a car with a drunk driver. The driver of Diana's car, Henri Paul, had a blood alcohol level 3 times the French legal limit the night he, Diana, and Dirty Fayed were killed. The information that is emerging from the Harry and Meghan car chase fiasco is that the couple's driver was being reckless behind the wheel of their vehicle. Not drunk, I hasten to add, but driving erratically. Always, always find yourself a driver who is sober, and if you are going to stage a paparazzi chase, find one who knows how to effectively maneuver a car in an emergency situation. Finally, wear your fucking seatbelt. The night Diana died, the only person in the car who was wearing a seatbelt was her bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones. Her bodyguard was also the only person to survive the accident. In the photos that have emerged from the Meghan and Harry chase, we can see that Harry alone, in some photos, seems to have his seatbelt on. Now, as a seasoned New York taxicab patron, I will attest that finding the seatbelt in a taxi can be a wild goose chase in and of itself. But if you are pretending to run from the paparazzi, don't get into a taxi in the first place. Stay in your SUV with its blacked out windows and seatbelts and wear the fucking seatbelts. There isn't probably a single person who can't understand on some level Harry's disdain for the photographers who hunted his mother on the night she was killed. But her own actions, getting in the car with a drunk driver and not wearing her seatbelt, were also factors in her death. Maybe Harry could do something like, I don't know, get involved with Mothers Against Drunk Driving to honor his mother? Or maybe do a PSA about the importance of wearing seatbelts? But blaming the paparazzi as the sole factor in his mother's death, and worse, taunting them into creating a situation in which he himself is trying to put himself and his wife into similar danger in order to, what? Prove he's right that his family need 24/7 armed protection? Well, a car chase might feel glamorous and exciting in the moment, but it is the height of stupidity. If you like what we're doing here at The Authentic, consider giving this video a like, subscribing to the channel, and ringing the bell so you'll be notified when a new video makes its debut, and think about leaving a comment too. Thank you for watching.